In his time with the Golden State Warriors, Jordan Poole made some stunning plays that amazed crowds and players, while fooling NBA GMs like Washington Wizards GM Will Dawkins, who traded Chris Paul to get Jordan Poole to Washington, D.C. But when the Poole party got to the Wizards, he started drowning. And the only splash that's happening there is more like a splash or tidal wave of problems. Problems that will leave the Washington Wizards at the bottom of the NBA for years. At the beginning of the NBA season, let's be honest, nobody thought that the Wizards were going to be a good NBA team. They just traded away their franchise cornerstone that they've been clinging onto for dear life in Bradley Beal, who has brought them to a 46-win season at the very best in his time as a Wizard. So when they lost their only good player in what seems like 20 years, I'm not counting John Wall because he's been hurt for like an eternity, things were going to be rough for the Wizards. But dang, how is it possible to be this rough? The Wizards look extremely lost out on the court with zero veteran leadership or sense of direction as a team, and a huge reason for this is because of the addition of Jordan Poole. Before the season started, Jordan Poole had some good media exposure for his flashy plays on the Warriors and other Jordan Poole activities. Kevin Garnett has even said that Jordan Poole on the Washington Wizards would have a similar feel to when James Harden first landed in Houston, where there he was a primary option, and KG debated whether Jordan Poole had a chance to lead the league in scoring.
You remember when James Harden left OKC and he got to goddamn Houston and got right at it?
Absolutely.
Man, it's the Jordan Poole show. I think Jordan Poole feels like he's been held back.
But instead, Poole has struggled at the start of the season, averaging 16.6 points per game while shooting 39.6% from the field and 28.4% from three-point range. Anyone that's called Jordan Poole a splash brother now deserves jail time. He is literally off to one of the worst starts to an NBA season ever, setting records for the worst plus-minus among any player with 15 or more field goal attempts per game. But besides the numbers, there's something in sports called the eye test. The eye test is simple. Watch how an athlete plays a game live and forget the statistics. Watch how they move, see how they react, and then you can judge the player. So, what have we seen from Jordan Poole using the eye test? Well, for one, we've seen a video go viral of Jordan Poole during a Wizards timeout where he looks like he isn't even trying to pretend he's paying attention to what the coaches are saying for the first 75% of the time, and then he tries to look at the play at the very end of the timeout, gets super confused, and sends up an absolute prayer to God that he somehow guesses right on what to do in the next possession. Another version of the eye test can be seen when the Wizards played the Celtics and Jordan Poole was being guarded by Porzingis, where Poole would then try to throw up a nonchalant shot at the three-point line and give Porzingis the easiest block he's ever gotten in his career. And unfortunately, that's not even close to the worst thing that Jordan Poole has done. During the Bucks-Wizards game, Jordan Poole was trying to save time in the fourth quarter by rolling the ball up the court. Pretty smart, right? Wrong. Jordan Poole, who has been in the NBA for 5 seasons, apparently didn't know that unless there is 2 minutes or less in the second or fourth quarter, rolling the ball out on the court from an inbounds pass does not stop the game clock. It just stops the shot clock. Even though Jordan Poole actually still made a bucket at the end of this play, he essentially burned off 12 seconds late in the fourth quarter, which is crucial time needed to make a comeback because he literally did not know the rules. He was out there just looking lost and confused, which is something that is a common theme early in the season for Jordan Poole. But why? Poole was pretty good at Golden State, so what changed? The short answer is that Poole is starting for the Wizards and he's asked to do a lot for them. On the Warriors, he came off the bench as a sixth man where he played well in that role. He was playing against second string players and was able to take advantage of that situation, maybe making Poole look a little better than he actually is. But now, as one of the offensive focal points for the Wizards, he's crumbling. But he's not the only person that is making this Wizards team fall. The other co-leader on the Wizards is Kyle Kuzma, known for his time on the Lakers and really questionable taste in fashion. Kuz is a huge part of the Wizards offense and he's actually playing pretty well as a scorer. He's currently averaging around 23 points per game on 35.5% three-point shooting, along with 6 boards and 4 assists per game. He's proven to be a reliable scorer for the Wizards over the years, but the problem becomes when he is a primary option for the team. Kuz is not meant to be the #1 option on a team, he's meant to be a complementary piece to a star player. Yes, his shooting splits are good, but his leadership and voice pace are just not there. He can score, but he can't lead. And leadership is something that the Wizards are severely lacking, and something that I do not think they're gonna find. Washington has started off their season at 2-12 in their first 14 games, while currently in the middle of a 7-game losing streak, putting them at the bottom of the East with the Pistons, and the only reason they are not tied for the worst spot is literally because the Pistons played one more game than the Wizards, so the Wizards haven't had the chance to lose another game. If there's one play that could sum up the start of the season for the Washington Wizards, it would be this. When playing against the Hawks, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole were on a fast break opportunity, and Jordan Poole decided to throw a lob off the glass to Kyle Kuzma in a highlight reel play while losing by 21 points. This play just reminds me of Chris Paul hitting a huge three to cut the lead down to 42. This Wizards franchise is such a mess that even when they were at their home stadium, "Let's go Knicks" chants started roaring from the crowd when they played against New York.
Physically playing on the floor, especially big minutes if you do, and I look at a guy like Landry.
I'm not sure if they actually have any fans, and I'm not really sure what the Wizards are going to do to turn around their bad start to the season. The Wizards really could use some magic.